Blake Wisner. I literally fucked up your name so bad, like prior to this.
You're fine. You're good.
Wisner, you're 29 years old.
Yes.
You are a Las Vegas native.
I am.
And you are a full-time recording artist, songwriter. You're in the top 1% of songwriters globally with over 60 million streams.
Yes.
You're super talented. I love it. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. So I'm also from Vegas. Well, originally from Seattle, but I moved here when I was 9.
Right.
So what high school did you go to?
I went to Coronado.
Shut up. So did I.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm a few years older than you, but it's fine. Whatever. But I did go to, I'm a cougar.
Did we have this conversation already?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So Blake and I,
I'm a cougar.
well, I actually am a cougar.
There you go.
Like
it fits.
Literally. Yeah. Okay. Also, Blake said he was going to bring his manic energy.
Manic. I'll try to be as manic as possible.
And so I brought my Diet Coke, which gives me my manic energy.
Which I'm judging you on, but I'm not judging you because I don't
you
judge.
gave a little judge.
I was like,
you were like,
okay.
I was like, have you ever had one? And you're like, I don't drink soda. And I was like, okay.
I don't.
Good for you.
I drop soda. I honestly, the only thing I was drinking soda with was alcohol when I was drinking.
Okay.
So then I cut alcohol out and now I don't drink soda.
Okay, so, which brings me to, all right, so we've been following each other on Instagram for a couple years, but I don't know how we connected. We were just following each other. And then I saw this podcast. I mean, you're super talented, so obviously followed you because you're amazing.
You.
But
yes.
I saw this podcast episode that you did and I was like, holy shit, like I have to have you on. So you were talking about how you've been on this journey of sobriety, celibate, like all the things.
Yes.
And I was like, I have to have you on the podcast.
Yes.
So it's funny. That was like a couple months ago. I DM'd you or I commented. I was like, I need you. And you're like, yeah, cool. We'll do it. And then we ran into each other out one night. And I was like, okay, I just went up to you like a total weirdo. And I was like,
no, what?
I
it was like
okay.
super casual and
I was like
meant to be because
I was like, you're coming on.
I was like, oh shit, because we had talked about it
yes,
prior. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me. Okay. First of all, I think it's incredibly inspiring. One, because you're a good looking dude.
Thank you.
You are in an industry that does not promote sobriety.
No,
so
absolutely not.
it was
actually encouraged the opposite.
Right.
Yes.
So I was like so inspired by that clip that I saw and I was like, I have to talk to you about this. So tell me about this journey, why you're on this journey. We'll talk about addictive personalities. And then I also want to like talk to you about dating and things like that. Okay. So I want to hear about it.
So actually in 1 week from today,
okay,
I will be 1 year sober, celibate, no caffeine.
Shut up. So, no caffeine, celibate and sober.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
It's been tough at moments.
I'm sure.
But, and then honestly, when I first started, my body was like withdrawing.
Oh yeah.
From like everything. So, it was hard to just, keep consistent on it, but I'm really stubborn. So, which can be a great thing and a horrible thing.
Right.
But I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to, can I swear? Is that
of
fine?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, no,
I think
fuck
I said
that.
the F word, the second
word.
Yeah. I know,
after you pronounce my last name wrong.
Yes. Then I cut it out. Cut it.
Yeah. Right. Cut it. But yeah, so, been going strong and it's, gonna be a year. So
it's incredible.
I basically I did have problems with binge drinking and I'm just a very all in or all out type of person. So when I'm like smoking weed, I'm like doing
you're
8 back-to-back joint.
Weed.
I'm smoking. I went through like half an ounce a week of weed.
Yeah.
And when I'm going out drinking, I'm like, I'm going to get fucked up and I'm going to have to Uber home type, and I'm going to be the life of the party. And it's not like a drinking problem. It's more of I just want everybody to have a fun time.
Right.
And so I, in turn, when I'm passing out shots to everyone, I have to take shots with everyone.
Right.
I end up getting really fucked up.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. And so that was kind of, I just wanted to, I was really diving deep on just breath work techniques and things to scramble like your neurons in your brain and different things. So I was like, I'm going to go into this. And I started waking up at 5 a.m. I would wake up, do breath work. I would do a cold shower. I'd go to the gym and I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd say 25 times, I love you. Cause there's like something that you don't hear it every day. You don't hear I love you. So when you look at yourself and you say it, and you're like really solid in your skin about knowing who you are, and you tell yourself I love you, it's like there's like some affirming thing that you get. So yeah, I was on this crazy thing. I did drift away a little bit from the morning routines.
Okay, yeah.
Just traveling and different things, it made it hard. But yeah, I stayed on the sober celibate, no caffeine thing for about a year.
Did anything spark that? Like,
a lot of things.
Okay.
A lot of things. I mean, I could go down the rabbit hole of countless stories where I drank way too much.
Right.
And then, but the thing is when it wasn't drinking, I would chase sex. And
so that's what we talked about. So you said, so I said, oh, why are you celibate too? I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, it is
and
brutal.
You're like, well, I'm replacing alcohol with sex. It's like you're chasing another void, another, dopamine in a different way.
Right. And so, yeah, I would end up being sober, but then I'd like have a whole roster and I'd be like, it's just not fulfilling. And so I wanted to make it, I wanted to put myself to the test of like, I'm not having sex with someone unless they're like my person, or I think they're my person, or I want to be more serious with this, because I was just chasing one night stands and like a bunch of non-fulfilling things.
Right. It's empty.
It is very empty.
Okay. So I love this for you. So how long are you going to continue? Is there an end game to this journey? Or are you just going to go?
There's no real end game.
I love it.
It's just like go until, I started off with, it was kind of a bad intention. It was until I got $1 million.
Okay.
But
I love that.
I didn't really like resonate with that after, because I was doing videos like day 1, sober celibate, no caffeine until I get $1 million. And so I was doing videos on that, but then I started changing it to what's up, day 32, sober celibate, no caffeine for the betterment of my mental and physical health.
I love
and that felt more authentic. And so I didn't say it like, oh, it's a money thing. But yes, I'm still on the grind to get that $1 million.
Of course, yeah.
But I do just like how I feel not being intoxicated and not having to rely on substances, because I also grew up, my parents put me on Adderall, super young age. I have like chronic ADHD.
Yeah. I think I do too. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have it, especially with TikTok. I feel like that
it's ruined.
gives us ADHD.
No,
almost.
100%. I can't actually sit down and watch, and I love reading too. And I have such a hard time now. I think it's because it's the quick hit.
Right.
And it's the fast.
And then you're crying, and then you're like laughing, and then you're like mad, and then you're like,
on this roller coaster.
In politics, and then you're laughing again. And so it's like, I don't think emotions should go like that, you know? So, but what it does do is it makes you addicted to those dopamine things, because it's almost like in like dating, if somebody's like, yeah, I like the shoes, but I don't know about the hair. You're like, what? And you don't know how to feel. It like gives you that up and the down. So it's like a toxic thing that you like it for some reason. So
I wanted to talk to you about the celibacy, and then we'll talk about sobriety, because I'm California sober. So like I'll dabble with the little mushrooms and exactly, but no alcohol. So okay, celibacy. So are you actively dating with where you're at?
I am very honest and upfront with people I talk to. Of course, like I tried like nothing at the very beginning. I was like, no, like I even broke it off with the person I was talking to. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, I have to go on this pathway. And they're like, I'm like stoked for you. Yeah. I mean, they said that though, but I think they're a little upset about it.
Okay.
So yeah, I tried to do that for a second, but you know, I would go out to events here and there, even like charity events. I wasn't even going out to like events. Well, I did throw last Friday. It was this open mic I threw every single month at the end of the month. Okay. And so we would get hundreds of people out, and artists would be able to come up and perform their original music.
Right.
I recently took a hiatus on that because I'm just trying to fully focus on my own musical stuff. But yeah, so there would be multiple things that I would go out to, not drinking. I'd still be socializing, and yeah, like I'm friendly with people. Yeah. And so if there was like an attractive woman that I vibe with, I'd see things out, and like, you know, if they judge me for what I was doing, then I wouldn't be interested.
Would you
in
ask them on a date? If you saw, like, if you were out and you saw, cause are you on the dating app? I'm
Not on
sure
the
you're
dating
not,
apps.
cause
Not
you're not
anymore.
chasing that right now. Yeah.
No.
So if you saw a cute girl out, would you approach and ask her out on a date?
Yeah, I mean, I would ask for her number, like,
Yeah.
and I'd ask for her socials and like get to know her through that. Maybe something light, like a lunch date,
Yeah.
or nothing crazy, or like going to hang out at, like, I don't know, a thing with my friends all together. Not like,
Right.
hey, and I feel like honestly, just dating in general, I feel like that's a more comfy thing to do. It's just bringing somebody
Absolutely.
out on like a casual thing. Like,
Yes.
hey, some of the homies are coming over for tacos
I'd
tonight.
actually love that.
You
So then
know?
it's not so some weird interview style
Right.
at
It's
lunch.
like you're sitting
"Ugh."
across the table and like you can't like even like you're like, I like it intimate, more like,
Yeah.
okay, we're kind of just vibing
And then see. Kind of start off more of like friends, like a friendship. Okay.
Yes. I feel like that's where I would find my love of my life, is being friends with someone first.
I love that. There's
and
a good
then
foundation.
it would work its way into
Yeah.
something romantic.
So would you break your celibacy then? If
Yes.
you're okay, you
I would.
Okay,
I
all right.
would.
I love that.
Like if it was the right person and I
Right.
knew I was going to be this person's, like, we were going to be together, and I like vetted it and we were friends for a long time and
Yeah.
it felt really good, that would be the only circumstance I would break it. But I haven't
love
yet
that
come
though,
back.
because there's so many of these fuck boys running around
Right.
Vegas, and
I used
just
to be
love,
one. I
And
used
that's
to be
okay.
one.
Are you a reformed retired?
I am so retired.
Ooh, I
I'm
love
so
that.
retired.
Yay.
Yes.
But it's just so good to see someone like you like promote something like that. First of all, I
Right.
think discipline is incredibly sexy, and
For
I think
sure.
it shows
It's the
a
highest
lot
form of
about
self-love.
Right, exactly. So I love that. I went on a date with a guy that like wouldn't stop vaping, and I was like,
no.
and I actually didn't know that that was like a non-negotiable for me until
Until-
that. And then I was like, what is happening? Like you
You're just
literally, I'm like,
just like-
you literally cannot like do that for like 2 hours.
Right.
And I was like, my gosh, like that's crazy, you know? So, okay, I love that. So as far as sobriety, so obviously celibacy, like it'll be just a timing thing, I think, for like the right person. But do you have like an end game for that, or is just,
For sobriety?
yeah,
$1
$1 million?
I feel, yeah. I mean, like if someone were to say, I will give you $1 million to take a shot, or like if, and I was like, okay, and they give me the $1 million first, I would probably take a shot and then I'd go right back to being sober, because
Okay.
I just function at such a higher level and able to like have more intelligent conversations
Right.
with people, and
Right.
I make better decisions
Yes.
when I'm not drinking, and my body just feels better. And
I
so,
know.
yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to never touching alcohol again.
So I'm always sober. I have a weird story.
What,
So
yeah, what is your story?
I
How
grew
long
up
have you been sober?
My
Or
whole life.
California sober.
my
but-
whole life.
Okay.
So I grew up Mormon, which is a lot. Yeah.
Right.
So
Coronado.
yeah. Yeah. So I grew up Mormon. So it's this thing where I was never around it. My parents obviously are still active. They don't drink. And by the time I left that religion, I was like, it's not cute at like my age to like go buck wild and like crazy, you know? And so I was, and I have literally zero desire to drink. And it's the weirdest thing. So and I have an addictive personality. We talked a little bit about that. I have not mastered the caffeine thing yet, but, so I don't know. So I've found that it's really weird being sober out with friends. I'm so fun, so high energy. I can hang. I have no
You're the
judgment.
life of the party with or without alcohol.
Right. And so that's my whole point. And as I was like, well, why would I drink if I'm
no
already
point.
so high energy and the life of the party anyways? But it's weird how society shames you.
Right.
I think it's so interesting because it's actually,
why aren't you drinking?
Right.
Do you have a problem?
that's the
Like,
first thing. Yes.
Every time.
Every time. Oh, you have a problem. I just was like, oh, someone said to me when I've been living in Austin a little part-time too. And they were like, oh, that's a red flag. And I was like, what? And I think it's
That's
because
a red flag that they're saying that's a red flag.
right. But I think it's because they think that, oh, I have a problem. And I'm like, and then what am I going to say? I'm like, well, I was raised on the Amish farm, like, so it's this, I used to try to explain it. And then I'm like,
Right.
I've got to just come up with something like super simple. Like, oh, I don't like how drinking makes me feel. It makes me feel like shit, even though like,
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
so
just
weird.
being authentic with people, be like, no, I don't have a problem. You know, I just don't like
I have
drinking. It's
zero
just not-
desire.
well, and then also it's incredible from when I stopped drinking to from what I look when I was drinking and then what I look like now.
Exactly.
Like when I was drinking, I was like crow's feet. I would like look in the mirror and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like I look old.
Yeah.
And then now I like look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, wow. I like look at pictures and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
Drinking really, really ages you. It's actually, I think
Yes.
the number one leading thing of aging your skin is alcohol.
That's probably why I'm catfishing guys out in these streets.
Right. You're telling me you're older and I'm like, wait, what?
I know. I am.
It's
older
probably
than
because you haven't drank. You
but
look
it's
so
because
young.
that's what I really do think. Like it's because I don't drink. Yeah. But it's weird that society shames you for something. So what do you say when people say? It's so
common. It's like,
I know.
There's ads. That's like people's getaway from their 9 to 5. They want to relax.
Right.
So they either go smoke weed or they go to a bar and like get drunk. Well, and it's also used as a tool and it's a social tool because people are afraid to actually have human conversations with people and go up and maybe talk to that attractive person.
Right.
Unless they have that liquid courage. So now you use it as a mechanism to go have fun.
Right.
And I think it's just so toxic.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean,
it's refreshing. Do you feel like more people are going on the sober route?
I think a lot of people are. And
I notice, but it's like people like you that are like really cool in the industry and you're like, nah, like it's not.
For sure. And I used to run an event and I don't know what it was, if it was just the event like on, I don't know, less people coming or whatnot, but we kept pretty consistent with the amount of people. And the bar sales have gone down from like when we started. So I was like, oh, like people don't really like drinking as much when they go out. Unless, I mean, there's always going to be a crowd. They're like Fremont has it dialed into like a crowd of people that are going to go drink, and people like all over the world fly into Vegas to drink.
Right.
So it's like we're the drinking capital of the world.
Right, exactly.
Which makes it that much harder to go sober and to feel that much more out of place because it's so natural to just go get fucked up with the homies somewhere or go have like, I mean, I think it's okay to have a glass of wine or like a beer with some food or something, but and it's actually hilarious. I did a project in college when I was drinking the most on why alcohol is good for you.
Shut up.
Yes. And so I did a whole presentation.
So why
in front
is
of the
alcohol
class.
good for you?
There was a thing about it being good for like cardiovascular health with just a glass of wine, but that's been debunked.
Oh, really?
So and I like recently looked it up and it's been debunked.
Okay.
So it's actually just like not good at all for you.
Okay.
So
this is what I've noticed when I go out. Cause like, again, we talk about, we have no judgment. I'm always the fun DD, but I'm always out with all my friends drinking. I've got a limit though, because at some point, like I'm like, right. And then I'm like, okay, I'm actually experiencing life different than everybody else. And I got to go home and go to bed because I want to get up in the morning and go work out.
Exactly. Whereas if you're drinking, you could stay till 4 a.m.
Right. So do you have a limit too? Or are you like,
Absolutely.
I'm out and just leave your friends? And
For sure. Yeah. I'll tell my friends because if I'm driving, and you're used to being
I'm always
DD.
the driver.
Yes,
Are you the driver too?
I used to be the DDD, and so
What's
that's
the
the designated drunk driver. And
shit.
I'm actually very against drunk driving now.
Absolutely.
But it did take 2 DUIs, and I wrote a song about it with the homie Fresco Trey, and it's actually almost at 1 million right now.
Okay, we're gonna have to put that on the show notes.
Yes, absolutely. But it's about he wrote the song because his dad got in a drunk driving accident. So I wrote the song with him to help spread awareness for drunk driving and to like hold people accountable. Hopefully people hear it and they're like, you know what? I shouldn't go drink and drive.
Wow.
So
that's powerful. Yeah.
Super powerful. So I mean, I like integrating what I'm going through in life into my music,
art. I love it.
art. That's the beauty of art.
That's kind of why I started my podcast is I was like, went through a couple rough years and I was like, I need like an outlet.
Yes.
If I was Taylor Swift, I would be dropping hella EPs, but I'm not. So, or maybe you can write some songs for me.
Do you got some pipes?
I do a little. My mom is actually a singer, but I was a brat growing up. So she would be like, hey, do this. And I'm like, no. So
Okay. Well, yeah, we gotta maybe get you in the studio.
okay, maybe.
Yes.
I have a lot of feelings.
Okay.
I have a lot of
yeah, no,
a lot of journal entries.
I really am. I like pride myself on being able to take someone in the studio and transmit what they're feeling into song form. So
Actually,
like
that'd be
exactly,
so fun.
it's almost like therapy.
No,
And
literally,
so,
yeah.
like someone lost their father and they came to me and they're like, I want to write a song about my dad. And we were like both crying and going through it
gosh,
and
yeah.
going through melodies and stuff. And we come out with this beautiful song. She even didn't sing. I sang it. And so I sang it for her. And it's like this beautiful piece of art that
like I want to do this.
It's like therapy. Yeah,
okay,
no,
okay.
definitely.
I'm
Hit
gonna
me up.
hire
Let me
you.
know.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
That would be
absolutely.
amazing. So talk to me about when you were dating. You said you were on Bumble.
Yes.
What'd you say? Buzzing through Bumble?
Because you were like unhinged on Hinge,
So
buzzing through Bumble.
the first episode of this second season is going to be called Unhinged on Hinge, and it's like the best, funniest dating prompts. Yeah. So then you were like, "Ooh, I was on Bumble. I was buzzing through Bumble."
Right. So and on Hinge, when I'm like I said, when I'm in something, I'm like all in on something. So
were you a fuckboy on there, or were you using it to actually get a relationship?
This was when I was still drinking.
Okay.
And I think I was just filling a void. I was just chasing.
Yeah. Just extra. It's the validation. That's why
just the validation,
yeah.
you know?
Okay.
And so, I mean, if I found someone that was cool, I was down to go on like a date or something with them, but was like extremely picky. And then the few people that I did get connected with, it's like hard to go from, okay, we connected.
Yeah.
To like now we're hanging out outside of the app.
Right.
So what I did was I like studied like science behind like Bumble science.
Stop.
And
I
Hinge
love how your
science
brain
and profile.
works. Cause
I
you're
just
like,
was
yeah,
like,
you're
I
like,
don't want to go into something and just like, I think I know the most. I feel like that's ignorant.
Right.
And so if I want to go on this app and I want to get matches, then I should go study what the best thing is to do to get matches.
I love this. Okay. What's the best thing? Tell me everything.
So, first thing's profile pictures.
Okay.
And you want to make sure there's no selfies. You want to make sure that
no selfies?
There's a lot of candid photos of you that show, because it shows high value.
Okay.
And so, if you're like out with the friends, like casually, like walking somewhere and you're just having a good time and there's like a snap photo of it, people are like, oh, he's like doing things.
Okay,
He's like
cool.
out
Love.
doing stuff. And so, maybe, I think the shirtless photos are okay, but it has to be like something casual, like you're just at a day club or you're just at something, you're just at like a beach, that you're not like this whole like set up model shot. Like starts becoming overselling it. You want to put a little bit of effort into it, a little carefree, but not so much like that just gives off fuck boy. Like you're just like,
absolutely
like model, like, and it sucks because some people are models and they have great shots of them and stuff,
but it's not the place.
It's not the place for that and stuff. They can see your model profile or like go on your Instagram for that. But yeah, dating. And then the prompts, that was my prompt was
it creative?
Yes. Hold on. It was like,
let's tell Blake my prompt.
It was have 9 kids and 13 ex-wives looking for a therapist.
Wait,
so
I love that.
Everybody would hit me up and they'd be like, I'll help or something. Like, I'll give you therapy and stuff. And so, I mean, I got the same thing as you were saying you would get with the, what was it with the, people, the haircut thing.
Yeah, the haircut. Yes.
Yeah. And so you just put that as your bio. I'm curious what's your bio.
It's so embarrassing. No. So I've had like a rough year.
Yeah.
So as a joke, my girlfriend in Austin was like, set it up. I'm like, okay, whatever. So like, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm not taking this seriously. Right. Well, turns out like maybe you should take it a little seriously. So they had the prompt that's like a story of your life. So I sang a song.
Okay.
It was the Chubba Wubba.
Can we hear it?
It was, I get knocked down, but I get up again. And then I was like, oh, what a banger. What?
Okay, but that's fun.
I think it's funny.
It shows personality.
If you know me, it's funny. But if you don't know me, I think they're like, what the actual hell?
No,
I didn't get a lot of love on that. No.
Okay.
I don't think it did it. So as a guy, what are you looking for on the apps for girls and their profiles? not that. But I think
mean,
someone like
hey,
you think that.
Personally, I like someone that doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Right.
So if like they kind of were trolling on the app a little bit, it would be funny, or just a sense of humor, because there's nothing worse than going on a date and I'm like, it's like pulling hair, like pulling teeth to get them to either like react or have like
open up,
come back with like some banter or something. Like I'll like poke fun at them and they're just like, yeah,
you either have it or you don't.
And I'm like,
yeah,
what? Like, so yeah, I mean,
you know what it is?
What?
You know what it is?
What?
You need to, it's because I grew up ugly. You have to grow up ugly in order to have a good
I grew up kind of ugly, I think.
You think? I don't feel like you have ugly vibes.
I mean, until I started the Justin Bieber hair swoosh.
Yeah, I love that.
I think I was like, well, no, not now. Like,
I love all of your, like this. Yeah, I love the hair now though.
Thank you.
Show the side.
Show the side right here, the little line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a good barber.
Thank you. Yeah, he actually, he spent 2 hours on this yesterday.
Wait, 2 hours?
2 hours, but I'm just like, I'm gonna let him do his thing because he's like sculpting a master.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
Like, go artist.
Don't
do your
question
thing.
the art.
He's like, like brush.
Wow.
Like he'll blow it off, and so I'm just like, do your thing. Like I don't want to mess you up in your vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that some people could probably do the same, but
no, you can't. You can't rush.
I just
magic.
like his flow.
Yeah, you can't.
Nice flow.
He's an artist.
Exactly. So I'll sit there for 2 hours. I'll just like do some work on my phone.
Yeah.
But,
well, what I was saying is the girls that are like, they didn't grow up ugly. That's the requirement. I think you need to ask girls, can you send me your picture from 3rd grade or 6th grade? Because that's every indication. Because if you have a good personality, you most likely went through some rough years.
Right.
And the girls that didn't,
I've heard like me and my friends were actually talking about this is, can you have a good personality if you've been like drop dead gorgeous your whole life?
No, I don't think so. Do you? I don't think so.
I don't know.
You have to be humbled.
Right.
You have to be ugly.
But I've also met some people that have grown up not that great looking and then turned into good looking, and then that overtook their ego, and then they turned into a piece of shit.
Oh, okay. I could see that. I actually know a few of those. Yeah.
I want to say I have faith for people like deep within that they do have the ability, if they've grown up really good looking their whole life. I want to say I have faith.
Okay.
You know?
I like that. You're a good person.
I haven't done enough case studies on that yet.
You got to get to it.
I know. I got to start.
All right. Okay. So go back to Bumble. Okay, Bumble. You were buzzing through Bumble.
I was buzzing.
And you said that you met a couple cool people.
Yeah.
I met some good people on the apps too. It just didn't go anywhere, but like friends. Right. It's fine.
Complicated relationship.
Yeah. Ish.
Situationship.
Okay, have you been in lots of I haven't been in too many,
the most. Okay. I'm like the situationship king.
Are you?
But it's just because I want to love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm so passionate about my music.
Yeah.
And I'm upfront with them. I'm like, hey, listen, like I can't put crazy amount of time into you. Like I'm down to do stuff.
Right.
Like in sporadic moments and stuff. But like when I'm in a relationship, I want to be able to give my all to someone.
You're an all-in kind of person.
I'm an all-in type of person.
Is that because we have addictive personalities? Like we just go hard?
I think so.
Yeah, because I do too.
Because when I do fall in love, then I put music on the side, put everything on the side. And I'm like,
that's tough.
I'm like whipped. I'm like in this shit. We're going like flowers, dates. I'm doing the whole 9 and being cute as fuck. But then I've noticed when I did that, I get fucked over. So like, I'm a little jaded from that. Yeah.
Okay.
By the girl.
Okay.
And so,
that's hard because you want to love. I know dating really gets you jaded. Some rough experience. But can you build with someone? Can you be in that relationship, but also not give up on your passions? Can you do your music and build with someone?
So I think my goal is to get as far as I can on this music journey, and like fashion, and I want to get into like a couple other things, journey, and be really solidified in myself and in my living situation, and everything checks out the boxes so that I can like lead a life on my own perfectly fine. And then I would love to meet someone that's also in the same thing. Right. They have also figured their life out. They're like running their own shit.
Yeah.
They're very organized with all their stuff, and everything checks the boxes in them. And then we come together, and then we're both busy, but we can find time to make time for each other. a lot of the time, being that I am an entrepreneur and I work from home, I do sessions, and I'm my own boss. So I can choose when to have my days off and not. So when I get with somebody else that is also their own entrepreneur boss, and they are as in the same thing as me, like we're both in it, then there can be a lot of just hang time, doing nothing, and not working on our passions because we both like don't hold ourselves accountable to staying on our thing. So it's really hard. It's really hard.
Like, okay, there's this theory. Men and women, I think I think you're the perfect, this is exactly, Blake is literally, okay, you're going to hit up all the boxes are going to be checked. And then your taxi light is going to go on. And the first person who gets in the taxi, you're like, I'm marrying that person. So they always say like men, it's a timing thing for them. Women, like if I met someone and I would rearrange not saying that I would never lose myself. I would always have my career, but I will shift my life to work if I found a person that was worth it. Right. Like I would move for love. I would do whatever it took, like for the right person. Men are so different. Men, it's a timing thing.
Well, I feel like it's such a masculine trait to want to court a woman and like be able to.
It's a lost art, Blake. It's lost art.
It is. And like women want a strong, dominant man to come in and like take care of everything, you know? And so like I'm building myself up to be that point. So I think that's why it's a timing thing because
you want to feel that you're able to provide. And to do that. And then if you haven't hit those goals, I think that's, Do you find that, I always hate this so much, but guys always are like, girls just want money. Do you think that?
I mean, I will say no, because I grew up and have been for a while a broke musician up until kind of recent. Okay. But I pretty much, and maybe it was like the player thing or whatever, I usually got whoever I wanted to get.
Yeah, because you got swag.
I mean,
it's an energy.
I think it was an energy thing just because I'm able to connect with people on a deeper basis. And, you know, like we both would like, I don't know, I would usually figure out how to get, and that's just a lot of things in life. I really am able to figure out how I can get what I want.
To me, money doesn't mean anything. It's an energy, right?
Right.
But I think when they say that provider, yes, women do want a provider. For me, it's more of like an emotional safety. Like I got you, like we're in this together. But I think a lot of people equate that with money. So I was just asking. Well,
I think money is important and being able to have stability and provide for someone and, you know, go on trips. And like, if you were to have a family, be super able to support that in whatever lifestyle that you want to pick.
Right.
So I think that's necessary and everybody should be trying to get their bag up at all points and at least to whatever is comfortable and what makes them happy. But it's like I don't think I was in a very healthy spot when I was eating ramen every day and like
that's true.
Hooking up with like the hottest dancer girl ever in like college or whatever. And like I was like, oh, like money doesn't matter. And so it's a weird thing that you can get in your head as if you get something and then you like justify it. And so for a long time, I really didn't think money was an issue, but I was like, dude, I don't know I think it was actually, I was in a situationship.
Okay.
Someone I met off Hinge.
Okay.
And I was not even gonna lie, this was maybe 2-3 years ago. I was so broke to the point where sometimes she would buy meals but she was okay with it because she was like semi-famous. Okay. And so she had her cash and she was like, dude, I love us. Like, I just like, I want to go out. Like I'll buy, like, it's fine. And so but then what it did to me was it took away my masculinity.
Interesting.
And so I wasn't noticing it, but I was like writing off like some meals here and there. I would always in the back of my head, I was like, I don't like that, but you know what? It's fine. I'll get the next check. Right. Maybe we'll just switch off.
Right.
And so, but then there came a point when we like broke things off. And that was one of the things that came up in an argument was like, I pay for all this shit and stuff. And I was like, oh, so now you want to use it as a weapon against me. And that's when I got hurt. And that's when something clicked. Not cool. As I was like, I need to build myself into being this person that has structure and stability to be able to provide for someone, to be able to court a woman.
Okay, and I do think courting is so important. And obviously, guys pay for the dates when they're courting. But once you're in a relationship, it is a little give and take,
give and take, for sure.
I think, like whenever I'm in a relationship, I'm always like, let me take you on a date. Like, cause I
love
always
that.
feel, like every once in a while, like, let me just plan something fun and like, I'll just take care of it. Cause there is a give and take, right?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. I do think there is a give and take. And if you're with someone that is mature enough to give and then not use it in a fight, that's a
Right.
beautiful thing.
Well,
But
that's
now I think I'm just a little upset at that. So I went
course.
all in on like fueling my business and like a couple other business strategies
You're
around
like, I don't want to
music.
feel like that. Yeah.
I don't want to feel like that. I want to just be able to
Yeah.
fall in love with someone, even if they don't have their stuff figured out,
Right.
and I'll be able to provide for them, and then they can figure their stuff out
Yeah.
without having to work like a 9-to-5 job or something that
Right.
they don't want to do. Because I mean, I do music for a living.
Right.
So if I met another person that was a creative, but they were like a waitress and they didn't want to be a waitress for their whole life,
Yeah.
I would gladly be like, hey, I'll provide for you. Let's figure out your dreams.
I love
Let's
that.
like go all in on that, because that's what fuels me, is seeing somebody else chase their passion and their dreams.
I love it. Okay, so as the situationship king, was it because you didn't want to commit, or was it the other party?
So I think in a relationship, when it is like you guys are in the talking stage, I don't want this to come off like weird or cocky or mean or something, but I feel like the man has to make the decision. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the man has
Yeah.
to step up. If I were like talking with someone and we were really vibing and I were to say, yeah, but I'm only talking right now, I'm not really looking for anything serious, then they're not going to be like, well, dude, I want something serious right off the bat. Usually they're going to be like, oh yeah, like I'm totally talking to, not looking for anything serious.
But they don't really mean it.
But I think they would consider if I was like, hey, you're my fucking person. Like, I really love our vibe. I think we could go far, and I'm down to commit to you in a relationship. Like, let's do it. Let's be my girlfriend. But see, that's not how I would go about it. I would actually do some like crazy stunt, because I'm like a hopeless romantic. I like doing like weird things. So I would like jump off like a balcony with a wingsuit or something and prank them, and they'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, will you be my girlfriend? So like, I have like a weird, I want to do something cute like that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not ready to do that cute thing, then I don't want to be in the relationship. And then, so if I don't ask, then we're just usually in this kind of, limbo.
And I think as the girl, you never, this is just my perspective, you never go in and saying, what are we? What are we?
Right.
You say, this is what I want. Can you provide that? Like, I want to be in a relationship. Can you do that? If not, I'm going to walk. And I really appreciate our time.
That's a mature thing.
And I think that's what you have to do. And that's why these girls get like, you have to get so clear on what you want.
I feel like it's hard to say that as a woman, if you're like really vibing with someone and you're like, dude,
but damn, you gotta love yourself
say
more.
That, and then if he says he's not down, then I gotta go.
You have to
go. And so sometimes it's a lot easier to just be in that limbo state and just kind of be cute with someone and kind of do the things halfway. And then now you're like stuck in it. And so
that's true. I could see that.
And then so you're like, well, do I want to be kind of stuck in it and feel like kind of okay? Even me as well, thinking that, or do I want to go search for somebody else to try to like almost be there? But it's kind of fucked up on my part, because if I really were to love this person and I just didn't want, or maybe it wasn't the right time, like I want to see them happy, you know, and I want to see them go do what makes them happy. So I'm always in this like on or off, like kind of thing. I'm very hot and cold.
Timing's everything though. I believe. And I also believe you can't fuck up anything that's meant for you.
Right.
So like it
100%.
is a timing issue, you know, maybe it'll come back. Destiny. Let's go back into sobriety though, with dating, because we talked about it in Friend. I find it really hard to date being sober. Do you find that? We're in a weird town.
I find, I will say, when I first started trying to attempt to go sober, it was like 2 years ago, three, maybe 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. But I do remember talking to this girl, and in the middle of us talking, I was sober. And then one day, like, because we would just hang out and like all her friend group would be drinking, and I threw events and everybody was drinking, and then it just turned into me drinking. So I like finally caved and gave in. So I think, it wasn't her pushing me to drink, but I think if you're really open and honest about yourself and your goals and what you're on and your path of life, that's really your person, they're going to respect you.
Totally.
And I don't think they're going to judge you. And I think they're going to find it even more attractive that you have this discipline and you want to be different because it's like, who else I know I'm like kind of a unicorn. It's like, who else is sober, celibate, no caffeine? I'm like the
caffeine thing is really hard.
Caffeine. I'm actually doing research right now on it maybe it not being as bad as I thought.
Oh, yes.
But no, not as good as if you drink it every day. It's like, if you use it as a tool, I researched, if you use it, like say you have
to focus, like go hard. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Like some Adderall or something.
Yeah, okay.
If you had a long day to do a bunch of things, maybe take some caffeine but maybe take it in green tea form because the theanine in it mixes well with the caffeine and it gives you like sort of an up, not too much of a cracked out up. But if you drink it every day, your body starts becoming immune to it. And so you may notice like you need coffee to feel like normal. And sometimes you can drink coffee
like your baseline
before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And so
which is insane.
It is insane. And so it's like if you were to take coffee out for 2 weeks, you would feel withdrawals. But then after those 2 weeks, if you were to bring it back in maybe every other day or when just sparingly, if you needed it on like a certain busy day, then it can be useful. So, but what we do as people is we're like, oh, this works so great. I'm going to do it again and then again and then again. And then now you're numb to it and it's not really working the same.
Right. Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's hope for you in caffeine.
Yay. Perfect. Yay. Okay. Talk to us about music.
Music.
I want to hear about your journey. Have you always been into it?
Yes. Piano since 3. I started singing maybe in high school and then wanted to go all in on it. So I just majored in opera in college.
Stop. I love that.
And
what college did you go to?
UNLV.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then, so then I went into jazz because I was like, well, opera kind of sucks. I had to learn Italian, German, French. And then I was like, that's not for me, opera. I just knew I wanted to be a singer.
Right.
Or it would help because I could play guitar, I could play piano, I could produce a little bit, and I could write songs. And so I was like, the last thing I'm missing is singing. So I went into college and learned how to sing. And then from there, perfected my voice. And all the way up to I have some placements on America's Got Talent.
I love it.
Worked on songs that have generated over 60 million streams. And I just performed EDC. So
stop. You performed at EDC?
Yeah.
Damn it. I have not been to EDC and I would have loved to do that and see you as my first.
Sober.
Yeah, exactly.
EDC. Yeah. It was the first time I've been to
Good
EDC
for you.
sober.
Wow. How was that experience?
It was awesome. It was definitely hit that wall.
Yeah, that's the thing about, I think, being sober. I'm going to ACL. I'm actually going with my friend Sam. And
what's ACL?
It's in Austin City Limits. So I love live music. I love music festivals, but I am always sober. So it's like at some point I'm like, damn, it's like that you hit that wall and you're like, it's time to go. Like, it's good. I'm tired.
You can't, I'm 3-day festival.
Yeah,
at
you could
EDC,
do like a 1 day.
Raging and going all out. I want to get in, vibe a little bit, perform and get out.
So what time did you perform? Was it in the
3:30, about 3:30 a.m. So
wild.
I was already
so no caffeine and you're performing at 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank
so are you going to
you.
do it next year?
So I think the goal is every year to just get at a bigger stage every year and then eventually main stage. I'm
going to be there at EDC watching you perform. I'll go just for your performance.
Absolutely.
I'll rally.
And to get there, it's just kind of building your network around the other DJs that are performing main stage already and then getting a track with them. And then it's as easy as, hey, we have a track. Do you mind if I come out and perform? And they're like, yeah, for sure. And they'll give you a band and whatever. Or if they don't give you a band, I'll buy my own band to go perform on main stage.
I love that. Yeah, you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll make it happen.
Sure, exactly.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you think that way? Or are you trying to stay present?
Of course. I do try to stay present, but in 5 years, I want to say I have everything that I could possibly have dreamed of come true. And I have several houses and, I have a fashion line. I have world tours and, you know, I'm just like really solidified in my music career, fully making money off of just my music, my original music. And so right now I produce a lot of sessions for other people. And then I write top lines, which is like, I write vocals for DJs and stuff. So I sell my voice. But it's not just me working on like my Blake project. I have like an EDM project that's really cool. Yeah. And it's dope to be doing my own music, but being fully sustainable off my Blake Wisner project, going touring around the world, and everything and anything you can think of that's at that level is,
I love it.
That box is filled.
Okay. I love it. Do you think that you'll leave Vegas?
I am currently on a 6-month lease. And I plan on being out in LA in February. So I might make the move. Well, the first step is making all my work remote. And once I get it all remote, then I can live anywhere. Right. And so, but I do have a lot of friends that it would be very beneficial for me to go to LA. Yeah. And it's just, you're just in the mix of it all. And I feel like my personality type would do absolutely and wonders fashion, in LA. And fashion too, figuring out fashion out there. Yeah. Yeah. I am a big proponent of you can make it happen in whatever city you're on just because of social media and TikTok. Right. So I don't think I have to move to LA, but it's always been kind of on my bucket list to get out to LA. Yeah. Okay. I love that. Okay. What would you tell your younger self? Don't believe everything that's told to you. I love that. Like literally half the stuff I learned in my life, I had to relearn. And the other stuff was like, it's just knowledge is so important. And I feel like you're told something by someone and you just kind of go with that. And even parents give you all this advice and all these things and which way to skew politically and what's right and what's wrong. And then as you grow older, you start figuring out, wait, why did I think that? Yeah. Like why? So I'm like, I find myself a lot unlearning certain things. And so I'm very much in an unlearning phase. Right. Yeah. So critical thinking was huge for me in college and asking the question, instead of why is this the best thing? I'm like, well, why is this the worst thing? And so I like ask the opposite question just to get the answers that I'm searching for. Of course, you can find whatever answers you want online, but I think it's important to, if you have a strong belief against an opinion, go look up that opinion. Go find the opinion that you're talking down on, because that'll just, one, if you disagree with it more, it'll make you more knowledgeable about disagreeing with that opinion. And two, it just gives you both sides so that you just don't look stupid in arguments. And I think it's so important because we are sheltered and fed information to get both sides of the spectrum and then make whatever we think is the best opinion. Right. And we're supposed to evolve. That's the thing. I know. Right. I know. How do you deal with haters? Do you get haters? Yes. How do you deal with it? Because I want to say at a point, girl. I was like the most hated man in Vegas. Stop it. Like, well, just because I threw this event that put on artists and I would get a lot of people wanting to go on stage. And so, but that's not how it works. It's like you pull your name out of a random thing. And then if you put your name in the basket and you bought raffles, then you get to go. But so people would think, oh, like I'm sneaking people on stage. Oh, that his homie went. Oh, it's just because it's his homie. And so there was that. And then it's just through like different friend groups and relationship shit and people picking sides once you split. And so it's like, then you have a whole group of people having somebody's back and then they can't like be friends with you because they have this person's back. Yeah. And then their word of mouth of why that relationship ended could spread into a whole other thing of issues and drama and people just making up a whole bunch of shit. Yeah. And then, people will come up to me and they'll say the most outlandish. No, they won't actually say it to my face. Okay. They will say it to other people and then other people will come tell me. And then so for a second, I would actually go approach it and I would go shut it down. And I'd be like, hey, I'm just going to hit this head on and would talk to the person. But I started figuring out that didn't really help. No. They just wanted it. People are going to hate that want to hate. And so it doesn't matter how good you are as a person. And it's, if we had a conversation, me and any person, and we were to sit down like me and you are right now, and they were to ask me anything, I have absolutely nothing to hide. They could ask me any question and we would be able to get somewhere. So if somebody did have a problem with me, I have no problem like talking it out. But that's the thing, is haters don't want to come talk to your face. They want to just stir the pot. So they just like stirring drama and they just like talking. Yeah. So
it's been hard. I feel like it's been hard to put yourself out as a creator. Like, I think the first year of the podcast, I really struggled with imposter syndrome. Do you ever feel that way?
Explain what that is again.
It's just kind of like, you believe that you can do something, but you're like, I'm parading around. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not gonna, it's all those negative thoughts. Like, I'm an imposter. Like, I'm literally like parading around as
that. Okay. That one's crazy to me, 'cause I've always had this delusional belief.
But that's why I think that's why you're so successful, is because you have to be delusional.
Right.
But I think, just like, it's hard putting yourself out there and like creating art and like doing something, knowing that you're going to get shit on, and people always shit on you so hard before you make it. And then they always want to, be your friend or whatever. And it's like,
absolutely,
it's crazy.
In the building stages of music, there's a lot of that. Or like, I remember people in high school, there's this one person that said, if you don't make it by 20 years old, then, probably time to hang it up and like try something else. And so we were in the sauna, or I was in the sauna the other day at EOS, and he comes walking in.
Shut up.
I swear, he comes walking in, and he was like, dude, how you doing? And I was like, yeah, I run one of the most successful events in Las Vegas, and like, just performed EDC, like millions of streams and stuff. And he's like, damn. He's like, you fucking made it, bro. And I was like, I'm like, I just was very humble, and I was like, I'm still working towards bigger and better things, but grateful. And, I just was consistent. That's all it was. It was consistency. And so he literally said, he's like, dang, well, I take back what I said, like, 10 years ago. And I was like, yes. I was like, you remember it too. Cause I had been thinking that in the sauna as well.
Dang. Okay. So talk to me about your delusion. Like, have you always been part? Just like, you're just delusional, like you're going to make it. Yeah. Absolutely. It's like not even a question.
Absolutely. Batshit insane. How does one delusional?
Get batshit delusional?
So there's one thing about being delusional, but then having the work ethic and drive to back it up. So it's I love that. If I want to be this delusional thing that I'm putting in my brain, then it comes with a cost. It's like, okay, sober, celibate, no caffeine for a year. Let's see what happens. Yeah. And I had the most success I've ever seen in my career this past year. The most success. Everything started popping off. Money started like going up. Like, I started feeling better. I started writing better music about healing people and the clarity and everything just started locking into place. And so, I think if you want to have that delusional, you can't just sit here and be like, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best. I am the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. It's like, I have enough confidence to walk in a room in a studio and know that the time I put in the studio prior leads up to me being able to put on an amazing performance, to write the next hit single, to go in and give an amazing delivered vocal, to craft somebody's song into something that their brain was imagining. And so, having the tools, work ethic. You have to have the tools behind the delusion. Love it just validates it. Yeah. It validates the delusion. Is it this city that's so hard to date? I want to say no. You want to say no, really? I want to say no. I think it's a weird industry. I think it's just where you put yourself in. Okay, so we talked about it. Okay, so like, you want to meet someone in a coffee shop, a bookstore, or join a running club, or go somewhere where people don't go drink all the time and party. Because if you're not drinking, you probably don't mind a partner that drinks, but it's cool to have somebody that is on the same level playing field as you. So I don't think it's necessarily the city, but it's the things you put yourself in and surround yourself in. If you were to go to a book club, find just different things. Or even like gyms. Like, if you were to, like, I don't suggest that, but it's much easier to approach guys in a gym if you're a girl than it is for guys to approach a girl. Okay, so let's talk about that real fast, because you always talk about it. I would love to meet someone at the gym, because I feel like that our priorities are straight. We care about our bodies. We're healthy, but guys never approach at gyms. And I think I think you're locked in the gym and you just want to get that workout in, but I've actually had a beautiful girl come up and talk to me in the gym, and
And you were
we
totally
exchanged.
cool,
I was totally cool with it. Yeah, of course. I think
I
at
think it's
the end of
better
the day,
for girls to
we're
approach.
human. Yes.
Yeah.
Still, if like I have approached a girl in the gym before, but it wasn't like, I try to make it not weird, and it wasn't weird, but we had just seen each other a lot and stuff. And we had noticed each other at the gym, noticed we were making eye contact and stuff. And so I was like, okay, like I have to go say something because we kept going. So yeah, like we exchanged information. It didn't really go anywhere, but still it was like, we saw each other.
That's amazing. Was like you did something about it.
Exactly. I did something about it. So I think gym is a cool place to maybe find someone, because it is so hard to find other people that are like-minded.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why guys always say they don't want to be the creepy gym guy. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
But it's like the eye contact, I think, is huge. Like I'm giving you the green light.
I think also if you come up to somebody and you have to have the balls to be okay with somebody thinking you're a creepy gym guy. Yeah. And like, if they're like, hey, like I have a boyfriend, I'm sorry. Just like, you're like, hey, cool. Like, just wanted to say, like, appreciate your work ethic. See you in here a lot. Yes. Like, you're killing it. Like, fist bump. Like, you're just like super casual about it. Go about your day. And like, I think it should be more normalized. People just telling people to have good days as they walk by them randomly on the street. Like, there's this one guy on TikTok. He'll be like, walking past people, and he'll like level 1. And he'll just be like, hey, how's it going? Level 2, like, hey, what's like, and he'll just go different levels of just approaching random strangers and saying things to anyone.
And they're probably shocked.
They're probably shocked, what? But it's like, dude, we're so glued into our phones nowadays that that's what human interaction, that's what we thrive off of.
We need built connection.
Off connection.
Yes, we need that.
So it's so important. I feel like just going up, and people are so against what if they say no? It's like, you're going to die.
So what do you suggest for that? Because I think it's like people are scared of rejection.
Just
so
do
what
it.
Do you say? Just do it.
No,
life is full of
the thing is, you can't overthink it. If you sit there and overthink, this whole scenario is going to go through your head, and you're going to end up thinking of something talking you out of it. If you just went up and you just said hi, like they might say hi back, and you would just think of the next thing to say. You're a fucking human. Like maybe come up with a couple things that you could just normally say pertaining to the setting. If like you were at the gym, probably like, hey, like I noticed, I don't know, we were maybe making some eye contact. Yeah. Just let you know, like you're extremely, extremely attractive. Yeah. If anything, it's a compliment, but like would love to grab your number.
Yeah. And if you get rejected, shooters got to shoot.
You get rejected, you get rejected anywhere. Yeah. You gotta go approach. I feel like that even approaching in a woman's standpoint is a masculine thing. You're approaching a woman. I feel like women want men to approach them.
We do.
Even though you see those videos of like creepy men at the gym or stuff. And so there's a way to go about not being like a creepy guy. Just go up and just say something casual to them.
Well, that's the problem too with social media. I feel like guys don't want to get on, like they don't want to be blasted on TikTok. Like I hate when girls do that. That's like,
but why not get blasted on TikTok?
That's true.
Get a following. Now you have haters. True. Now you have something to build off of. Hey, I was the creepy guy that went in and got denied at this gym. And now this is how my life has changed from then.
Oh, wait, I love that.
Bro, you can turn anything. It's like Logan Paul was able to come back from being the most hated man in the world to now he has like a huge podcast, and he's like WWE star, boxing, Floyd Mayweather. You just do whatever you want,
but it's that delusion too. It's like not letting it define you, whatever.
Yeah, of course. Well, and in a social media age, you literally can just keep scrolling and like your brain is just unremembers things anyways. So you're not even going to be remembered. You're going to be this hated guy on TikTok for 2.5 seconds.
I think that's important to remember, because I think we're so in our head like, oh my gosh, people think this, and people don't even give a shit because
we don't give a shit. And everyone's growing too.
Yeah.
So even if you're learning how to not be a creepy guy in the gym, how you do that is you go try to be a casual guy. Well, you probably don't start off in the gym. You probably just go start walking around at places and just approaching random people. You probably don't go walk up to like 10 out of 10, this like Scarlett Johansson looking perfect model and ask her something, you would probably just go approach anybody. Go approach the grandpa. Go ask him how his day is. Go approach someone, just random people, and just start conversations. Then you build up this thing. Okay, I'm not going to die. I can talk to people. Then you go approach somebody that you may be physically attracted to.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Also, go for the 10 out of 10 because I guarantee you those girls 100%. Don't get it because of that.
100%. Yeah. But as we talked in earlier, be careful. And I used to chase all the 10 out of 10s. Okay. And I was very...
What have you learned? What have you learned?
Yes.
What have you learned?
I've learned that personality is so huge. Personality is just so huge. And a lot of these 10 out of 10 people do get a lot of things that they want just given to them. And it's
tough.
It's okay. Yeah. Like run, if you got it, flaunt it, like respect, run that shit. If you're a beautiful guy, if you're a beautiful girl, like run that shit up, make your bag, go model, go do gigs, go do whatever. Yeah. Like get random people hitting you up for feet pics offline. I am behind it. I am so down with it. But I have found that that personality is before looks. Right. I would still love someone stunning, but it's crazy that someone's personality can make them more of a 10 than a person that you think was a 10 and then you meet and then their personality turns them into like a 7. Yeah. So I would much rather find somebody with a great personality. And if they were great at the beginning of being like, without even knowing them, if they're great looking, or if that made them better looking, just knowing their personality, I would either or, just personality first.
Okay. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Yes. Kate, you're going to come on in a year.
Yes.
Oh, damn it. We didn't talk about you have applied for some reality TV.
I have. So, recently I took like a break. I think I was overworking myself on music. Yeah. And that breaks are important because if you're loading yourself up with work, like 8 to 10 hours every single day of just music, I needed to take a break. So what I did on my break was I started watching reality TV again. I was like, dude, I fucking love reality TV. I hate that I love it, but I love it. I love it so much. And I was just seeing these people and their personalities. And I was like, dude, that would be fun. That would be fun. I'm down to go on just for shits and giggles.
So good for
Maybe I find the love of my life and you never know. So I would just be curious to go on reality TV. And it was the dating shows that I was watching. And
I love it.
I was like, dude, that would just be fun.
So you applied. So what I want is we're going to do a follow-up after you get on, because there's no way someone like you is not getting on.
Oh, right.
With your personality, your swag, right?
No, I hope. Of
course. No, you're doing it.
It was only a 1-minute interview, but try to translate as much personality as I could through.
So someone like you is going to get on.
Hopefully.
So we'll do another in a year.
I'll let you know. I'll literally DM you the second I get back.
Please. I would love that.
Hell yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You're the best. I can't wait to catch up with you in like a year and see how far you've come.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.